שאתה עושה? מחליף חדרים? שומעת מה אמרתי?
כן, אבל לא. יש לו, אמרת שתשמחי מאסור לך משהו, אומר שזה כעת בחירה. אז נסדר מחר, מה? אמא חוזרת בשלישי בבוקר. רגע. מה? רגע! אתה שום?
רק את שלך? לא דיברתי מה שהיה עשה.
אז לא פיזרתי.
זה אומר לשים במקום, בארון, כן?
חגרו שני הצ'אט, יש לך מעצבנת? זה מה שהחברות מעצבנת.
מה אמרת?
איפה? זה שלך?
זה שלי.
החברות איפה לשים?
והארון שלו גבוה. לא לדחוף, לסדר יפה.
זה גם שלך? ומה שיש שם?
שים את זה בראש המצעי.
זה האימא.
יש לך טפוצ'קי?
לא.
אבא לא קנה לך?
קנה? לא זוכר איך עושים. אולי זה מיקה שמה עליי את זה בארון או משהו?
יש לך?
לא רואה.
סדר פה את כל זה.
אולי זרקתי אותם בחדר של גב, בחדר של אמא, או יאללה, אז פה אני זורק את הדברים האלה. Man!
אבל
And here we arrived in the new location, the PL2 laboratory. And here we managed to find another encounter. And here, Surf also gave me access to the P2 laboratory, and here we managed to find also in the team for Wild Charge quite an...
מה נכין לאכול?
את יודעת מה? אני לא רוצה לאכול.
די, רק כי אתה מתעצל?
רק כי אני מתעצל נועם.
תגיד לי מה להכין, אני מכינה לך, יא בכיין.
מלאווח.
מה מלאווח?
מה?
אולי פתיתים, אתה אוהב?
אני אוכל פתיתים, מה?
פתיתים ומה?
פתיתים עם חלב.
לא, התכוונתי מנה בבשרית, איתי.
מנה בשרית? לא, אנחנו עוד מעט אוכלים פופקורן, אנחנו הולכים לטחון פופקורן עוד מעט.
מה זה? פופקורן זה חלבי? רוצה?
מה?
מה אני אכין?
לא יודע, מה יש? שניצלים, המבורגר, לא יודע.
אין שניצל. המבורגר פתיתים, אתה...
הפתיתים עם חלב. Here we find a team for wild... בסדר, תודה. Here we find a team for Wild Charge. Quite an interesting one, I guess. For now, I thought that the new Wild Charge team to red for more coverage. But here we have another possibility encounter. We have another encounter location. Right now, right here. Please, תביא לי איזה משהו טוב. תביא לי משהו טוב. Oh my god, איך הלכת לחתוך את השערות האלה שיש שם. נו, אבל תרד כבר. We have another encounter here. This time, not other than a dog trio. Oh no. This time it's Molly the dog trio. Each have a calm minus attack and plus special defense nature. And double the water veil. Oh. here we get some near. I need some team upgrades. The first one is evolve Mimey into Mr. Mime. Don't like really catch a Mr. Mime, but it actually makes sense. No one gained something strong, and Psybeam is not a move which called strong. I thought Mime Shadow Ball, Substitute, Light Screen and Reflect, and Shed by Luck with the water availability which prevents him to burn. I think I can work with that. Also, the level cap actually high enough to evolve Happy Hippo and into a Powdon. And with the tinted lens ability, this thing is a monster himself.
Galaxy. Oh my god, boys. Oh my god. גם לא יוצא הקטן, boys. לא יוצא הקטן. רק הגדולים יוצאים לי. Oh, יפה, יפה.
Oh, shit. שכחתי להחליף סצנה, סורי. Okay. Now my team is starting to look really strong. I think defeating all the trainers on Route 7 grants me I find that it a viable access which I want to my to finally get my next destination. Twisted Mountain. Twist Mountain. knowing my Pokemon probably closer and closer to the next level cap. Probably closer and closer to the next level cap. I enter my way and happy put to the team, evolve them and go over to Twist Mountain. Here's the real thing, because it's winter time, I can glide beyond some things here. Iron Ball. This Twist Mountain is a good place to actually find some usable items here and probably to do some training. But Happy Hippo liver is some Riolu with just a sliver, but instead of using reversal, is just copycat my dig, and I take her out with a Tilted Lens Crunch. With my awesome plan of substituting Shell Balls, the Celio is no much big of a deal. Even after I face my substitute, I can instantly go into bonk holding the choice specs, retaliate with a spec sludge bomb, with the spud up drop from Shadow Ball all the way to the win with a critical hit. But you have also a Clank which drains my useless Blaze ability, but I can't hit them. Clank also knows Shift Gear. You don't know Shift Gear, but it do Automatize. Used it twice and I go for a Bulldoze, fish to drop his speed, but doing a decent damage in the process. And he just spam Automatize and we take her out. That way run into more traders, yay! Without a Pokemon which know to use Fly, I hear I am in real trouble. Especially because we have an air trainer. Tarperi easily cleaned by 2 crunches after setting up Magnet Rise. But now he sends Sharpedo, which, yep, hits a stab, super effective priority Aqua Jet, which instantly killed me with a crit. Because Aqua Jet is priority, I switch into Bonk, which tanked it well, and respawn with a Spec Sludge Bomb outspeed to the win. Here I also managed to find the Muscle Band. To boost Happy Hippo some physical power and double check items like a crazy. But it's actually an clue to fight some trainers here. Fortunately, the trainers have a horrible Pokemon like Royster, which have, and of course, a horrible special defense. Even non-stop Shadow Ball from freaking Mr. Mime don't do any much damage at all for them. I find the Rocking Sense to boost rock moves. Also I find the Dread Blade boosting ghost moves. On sheer luck, Rodent outspeed my Mr. Mime and almost kill him with a crunch. But I actually managed to set up Reflect to help me to the follow Garabodur. Rodent Swift don't do a lot of damage and Sludge Bomb do over half and poison him, but it's actually an illusioning Floatel, which holds the same move Crodent can learn. And because crunches didn't stop, here on this thing I don't know how I can survive that. In the full Crodant, he gets double protected and instantly almost stole my Sludge Bombs. His last Pokemon is Politoed, which of course bombed. Sludge Bomb don't do good damage to his Politoed. But here I need to switch to Tompor. Of course. Bulldoze from Tompor drops his speed and the Politoed swaggers. Because of the swagger, there we break through and Bulldoze kill the Politoed. Almost gets me past the level cap. This thing have a reward. What the reward? The reward, you guess, the TM for Thunderbolt. Which have more base power on Shadow Ball to Mr. Mime. This crazy thing have an awesome reward, and this reward is the TM for Thunderbolt. You're right, and after fighting a couple of trainers, I teach him to Mr. Mime and my specs are brother. And now I get 2 rewards. And first, after winning this crazy fight against one of the S trainers, here I managed to pick up TM for 24, which of course is Thunderbolt, turning to Mr. Mime instead of Shadow Ball because it has more base power, and into my Specs Garboiler, and finally meet Charon and a Team Star, Team Plasma member or something like this. And finally reach a Zero CD. Kedrick, hello, Itai. Ma! אני בא, רגע. סבבה? שומעת? אני בא. באתי. נסווה. יש לי עוד 4.5. מה אמרת? הגענו על אייסור סיטי. I pick up awesome TM in Wonderbolt. Here, beyond Aysor City, we have another location, encounter opportunity in Dragon Spider Tower, and here we find a pretty useless Woobat. Here we find the Cloud9 Woobat. And there I find Woob with the Woobat. In Aysor City, also in Aysor City, we managed to find a Krabby. Yay! Which we nicknamed Grabby. We have another encounter opportunity, also another encounter opportunity in Route 8, and here we find a fully evolved Mach, which is really crazy. Yeah, but I think I stay in with Garbodor for now. Which I nicknamed Sludge. One of the Mach here also have Arena Trap, meaning we can run out for them. And my knee goes down. I think maybe Mach is the only Pokemon which actually here in this route, and we can't run out for them because of Arena Trap, and on top of that this thing has Minimize. Good work, Minimize and Mud Bomb to drop my accuracy, but we connect with 2 digs to take her out. Incredible. This reward gives me the Focus Blast TM, which I think it's maybe the useless one we can get. And I don't actually find right now a Pokemon which can actually fly. What the fuck? A Gliscor? A freaking Gliscor? יש כאן עוד אזור כזה שנקרא דמורוביסיוס או משהו כזה. We also managed to find Dive Ball and yeah, it don't look really good. On top of that, we also finally find a cover fossil which we of course actually can revive. Revived into an eligible encounter on the moment we actually get the opportunity to use Fly. And Specs Thunderbolts from Garbodor easily zapped out all the trainers. But we need to stay well versus something like color changing Gengar. Our only attacking move is Sucker Punch. I think we can predict that and go for Mimey, but now we have to switch to Shadow Ball. Yeah, it's not looking really good, and Dunkor has been sent in, fortunately, to the Sucker Punch. Think a Shadow Ball like a champ, even with a critical hit, and crunch out the Gengar. But this is actually his first Pokemon. Unfortunately, this is only his only Pokemon, and we get a reward of a Pecha Berry. beyond that we find the max revive, they're pretty useless. And finally reach the next encounter destination, Moor of Isurus. And here we managed to find another encounter, this time a really looking Gligar. Yeah, baby. Which catch a critical capture. Nicknamed Phantom. You also pick up Fire Gem and pick up all of my valuable encounter. I feel really nervous from the reward. Whoop whoop, the Woobat with mild nature and the special. We have Mika, the Anawar, Erikechnia, Gulpin without nickname, yay. Molly the Dactrio, which have solar power, Grubby the Krabby with Shetskin as ability, Sludge Dumac with Sludge the Arena Trap Mac, which also have minimize, Phantom, which have Ovelius, a brave nature, and final, and knowing what I need to do. But wait a minute, guys, this is not the end. Before challenging the gym, I take the dead body of Cormain and flow back all the way to Nacrin City. And now, after picking up the cover fossil from Route 8, I can actually finally get the my Nacrin City encounter. Which actually randomized into a Mentike. I wish a really strong, fast, strong Pokemon, but my wish don't come true, and I got a Mentike. I don't even give him a nickname. I have a hardening charm on my Mentike and also solar power, which is a terrible ability because this is actually a water type. Why my Pokemon get this ability? Also, before I continue, I'm flying back to Nimbasa. I flied all the way back into Nimbasa. Yeah. Look at this dude. After a freaking hell of time, I managed to go back here and talk with these ace trainers, which give me a sunstone. For a few times, I actually forgot to talk with this man to pick up the TM for strength, which we actually need later. I need to rest well the dead body of Cobain in the box and... Finally, it's the time to face off against the Aciru CDG. The trainers here are really strong and really scary for my team to deal with. What's it? And the boosted quad effective mega trade. I'd probably click leave Thumper with only a 6 HP. And now with the Lilligant starting to cool Verdance, but Choice Spec Sludge Bomb is just too strong and take them out after he uses another. Too good. Oh, another ground type. No problem, Mimi comes in, set up a light screen and now all I need to do is click. Oh, I don't have any way to hit them. It's so dumb. I switch into Bonk and get confused. I managed to break through to Toxic, but now I can still and don't even get switched to any of my move because of my scarf. Now I switch to Happy Hippo and Whiscash Water Pulses. Don't do any much damage at all and the light screen don't even fade. But now the Whiscash go for rest. And my light screen expires. On top of that, the Whiscash actually have iron barbs. I can't even put him to sleep. Knowing the I'm going to buy me again, set up a light screen in which I need, and the Whiscash are staying asleep, but now I don't have anything good to switch. Waterpool sits down for and he hits the Whiscash with a bulldoze which do a pathetic amount of damage. Here I realize I need to switch to Bonk to do much damage for him, and I outspeed with my Choice Spec Sludge Bomb, which of course resist and don't do almost anything. And now my light screen expires. Another Sludge Bomb hits and now poison the Whiscash, but he of course goes for rest. This Whiscash actually, he managed to steal almost half of my Sludge Bomb power points right now, and I managed to learn 3 before he wakes up. Now I need a high roll to take her out, but I get confused and hits herself in confusion, but instead of attack me he goes for rest. Heal him back to full HP. Now I don't have so much to do. I switch back to Mimi and the Whiscash wake up and hits me with a pretty pathetic water pulse. I go for rock and roll, hoping I can tank a water pulse from him, which I actually tanked well. Now, Gigalith is probably slow than usual be, but I managed to put off a Toxic before my light screen actually, and Mr. Rock Slide with my quick claw before the Whiscash rests again. I do some damage which I can do with Rock Slide, but the light screen expires me. I need to switch to Mimi one more time in case he wake up. Fortunately, he doesn't on the switch, and they set up a light screen, and now he wake up, hits me back in with water pools, don't do so much damage, and they back switch to rock and roll. Hyper water pools from this range actually can take me out, but I don't have nothing good to switch in, meaning I need to go for Happy Hippo to the water pools. I go for a crunch here, hoping it do too much damage, but it doesn't, and the Whiscash go for rest. And my light screen expires. I set up the light screen again. The Whiscash set is staying asleep. And I have nothing to switch in, and literally nothing. The Whiscash woke up, hits Garbodor with a water pulse, leave him with 7 HP. But here I have a good plan. What if he can't even do damage to me? I go for Mr. Mime, set up a substitute, and the Whiscash actually want to pistol the Whiscash to all his moves. Just to be safe, I set up another light screen in case I need to, and plus reflect in case I go for struggle to don't break my sub. And the Whiscash starting to go for a sub magnitude, and even magnitude 6 can break my sub. I think it's probably enough to kill me. The Whiscash hits me for magnitude 4, don't do pretty pathetic damage, and now hits me for 7 and knocks me out. I go for Rock and Roll, which have a pretty high defense stat, and it's a magnitude 7, and we tank that on 6 HP, but misses a Toxic. But it quickly allows me to go first. Use Toxic, and magnitude 9 is instantly a KO. Now I send in Tamper. Go for Starfish is enough, but it don't even close, and magnitude 7 easily walled me out. I send in Dunker next, go for a crunch, but here after all of that I forgot the Whiscash have Iron Barbs, meaning he get enough run to take me out, but the Toxic takes him back. I left here with only 2 Pokemon, and I send in Bonk, which have only 7 HP, and he go for his Licky. Spec Sludge Bomb don't even do half, and he slams with a slam to the KO. He slams all my Pokemon to a KO. And fortunately I find my plan to win this fight, And this is the rough one. I go into the gym and cross my fingers. And the first trainer has some trouble here. He leads with a Lilligant, and fortunately I managed to lead with Wonk, meaning he get an attack boost from download. But he goes for a Teeter Dance here, which I doesn't expect, but I expect Sludge Bomb, it's too strong and takes them out in one hit. Whiscash comes in next, and because he have a magnitude, I switch into Mimey, which have great defense stat. He goes for Water Pulse instead, and he actually managed to get a critical hit. But I set up a light screen and he failed to use Rest. I also set up Reflect and he failed again to use Rest. I send in Tamper and the Rest failed again. I set up Aquarin to get a passive damage every HP every single turn, nullify the damage the Whiscash can do to me. But because the Whiscash have Rest, it's probably not good to stay in. And I actually need a high roll to take them out if you don't stay asleep for enough turns. Fortunately he does, and I managed to take her out, passing through to his last Pokemon, Licky. I go for Bulldoze, drops his speed, and the Licky misses his slam, allowed me to hit them next turn with a Surf, and oh god, he misses a slam again. The second Surf barely missed the KO, but the Licky just used Disable, meaning we get a knockout. But Silent Tamper close and closer than to the level cap than the usual, and I starting to feel really nervous. And even the next trainers have a psychic type Xatu. You just set up a Tailwind, allowed me to go for a Specs Thunderbolt, which I find a TM in Twist Mountain, and Bonk actually can learn to take her out after I set up Tailwind and put a Confuse Ray off me. Kamehameha. All of this gym actually be possible? And I need some plan to make this through. And here, oh my fucking god. lost all my party. Weak to power ugly. He can then decaptivate, but he just failed to all of her moves. Almost all of her moves. Before I managed to finally connect, he failed or miss all of her move. Before I actually managed to make this through. Oh, and take her out with a Thunderbolt just actually in the time he breaks my sub, but now I can deal with his Samurott. In this case, Samurott, it's a really bad issue. I tanked well the Aqua Jet, but not well enough. But I outspeed the Samurott, hit him with a Bulldoze, which of course drops his speed, and hits me with Water Pulse to pretty decent damage. We trade back Weather Pulse and Bulldoze back and forth, but actually managed to confuse me one time. But I actually crit and knocks this out Samurott, winning the battle. And both Bonk and Thumper almost at the level cap. Then this is the time for rock and roll, baby. It's time for rock and roll. And on the first fight I used Gigalith. My opponent uses the Gigalith against me, which is really crazy. Fortunately, thanks to level advantage, I outspeed, and Gigalith barely can touch me after an iron defense and oil. Meaning he's starting to use Power Gem. Gigalith special defense are so weak, they are so pathetic, meaning even his special attack it's so bad. He actually do decent damage every time we use Power Gem. But now we actually have a Teravolt Aggron, which is really crazy. Protect fails, and now I go for a dig, but he protects. And I have to use Bulldoze, what effective stab with an expert belt, which don't do a lot of damage, and the Aggron hits me with an Iron Head all the way to 19 HP before I finally take her out. This is really crazy. Rock type can be crazy sometimes, especially in this generation. And on the next trainer, Butterfree uses Silver Wind, get Omni Boost, and I miss a Rock Slide. But my Quick Low allowed me to move first, it's a quite effective Rock Slide, which actually killed him despite the boost. But now I need to fight versus Godotel. Godotel uses Flutter, boosting my special attack and Confuse me at the same time. And I don't break through, and even a Stab Psychic can kill me because Godotel's special attack is pretty high and Gigalif's special defense are pretty pathetic. Godotel, he uses Heal Block, and on the switch I go for Mimey, set up Light Screen. But now he uses Flutter. And I hit yourself in confusion, of course. The Godotel uses Future Sight, and then on the next turn I finally break through to substitute. But of course Psyshock based on physical defense and not a special, and he actually gets a crit. I break through confusion, but even without a crit, Psyshock and the Future Sight attack actually enough to fade my sub. I go for substitute one more time, and the Godotel hits me with Future Sight, and my Electric Ring expires. On the next turn I hit a Thunderbolt, doing just a third of his health, and the Psyshock break my sub. Knowing the Future Sight is coming, I need to switch, but I do. And who is the best to tank a Future Sight without Dunker? Predict them two moves at the same time, hits the Expert Bolt Crunch to take out the Godotel. אני יודע איך אני אמור לעשות את זה. I finally made all my way to the gym leader, Bryson himself. Time to fight the 7 gym leader Bryson himself. The 7 gym and Bryson of course leads me with a freaking Metagross! Holy shit. Because I know Mr. Mime outspeed Metagross, I go for Reflect first to weaken his physical damage, and he go for Scary Face. Now Metagross outspeed me, but because of the Reflect they don't do a lot of damage. I can freely set up a sub. Set up my sub, and the Metagross continue to go for Pursuit, phase my sub. And I go for Thunderbolt, gets a critical hit, doing good damage, and the Metagross go for Pursuit again, leave me at 18 HP, and I retaliate with another Thunderbolt, which brings him to the red and gets a paralysis. Knowing Bryson might go for a Hyper Potion here, I know he don't go use Pursuit, meaning I can freely send out Happy Hippo. And of course it's Open. My Reflect actually expires, which is bad, but because of the paralysis, I can outspeed the Metagross with a Dig, dodge a Scary Face, go back from the ground and hit him with a Stab, bring a Dig, which do over half, and on top of that, the Metagross stay paralyzed. It allows me to Dig again and dodge another Scary Face and take her out. Bring out his next Pokemon, Gothitelle. Which instantly hits me with a Flutter, and I hit herself in confusion, doing in the process only 2 damage. The Gothitelle uses Heal Block, which of course the useless move it can throw to me because of the hardcore Nuzlocke rules. And I break through confusion, hit him with a Crunch. On the next turn I use a Future Sight and I take her out, leaving Bryson with only her 2 live Pokemon. The first one is Girafarig, which hits me hard with a Psychic, but I managed to hit him with a Crunch, doing over half. Knowing the next Psychic plus the Future Sight attack might be enough to kill me, I switch into Dunker, which of course I'm immune to both the hits. The Girafarig uses double hit, doing half of my health, and I retaliate with a Stab Crunch on the next turn, taking her out, leaving him with only her last Pokemon, Clefable. But most of his Pokemon are Psychic types from some reason. I don't know why. Now I go to Bonk, and the Clefable started to use Minimize. I managed to hit him well, gets the poison on him, and Minimize again. I miss my Sludge Bomb, but he misses the Sting as well. And on the next turn I retaliate with another Sludge Bomb, bring him to the red, and the Clefable uses Metronome and hits me with a Metal Sound. Harshly lowers my special defense, but it leaves out a sliver of health. And Bryson of course uses his Hyper Potion, but I managed to connect with another Sludge Bomb. Scarier than the usual, I miss my move at the Clefable as well. And Sludge Bomb brings him to the red, he uses Metronome and get a super effective Psycho Cut against me, which don't do any damage at all. And I have one more Sludge Bomb, which I connect, taking out the Clefable and win the battle. And manage to beat Psychic Trainer Bryson, getting myself the gym badge. And the useless TM for Frost Breath. Exit the gym, Bianca and Sharon tell to me something and blah blah blah. No. This one gives me the all got you, and I make my way to the Team Plasma shenanigans in Dragon Spiral Tower. My Dragon Spiral Tower encounter. Now I can get one more encounter here in the Dragon Spiral Tower, which happened, but because this encounter is a rogue in Rula, I have a dupes close. I need to do another encounter here, and unfortunately is another rogue in Rula. Now knowing it's something good to try my luck in the upper floors, but I managed to find myself a tracing Duskull. Which I nicknamed Grimlock. To pass the tower I need the HM for strength, which fortunately I managed to pick up. In the Bassa City, and attach him and told him to tamper. Now with the strength HM taught, I can make my way to Dragon Spiral Tower, pick up a Tanga Berry, and go to the upper floors. וואי, זה עשו רפרנס לבל טאוור, וגיים פריק עושים רפרנס לבל טאוור בסקרד גולד, ייי! And the Sacred Gold Bell Tower and the Hard Gold Bell Tower reference is not the something I want to talk about. Grayson and Chirin fight the Plasma Grand Meg, and I did need to do this also. I'm don't lying, but this fight is actually so. This shenanigans and fight is so long and boring, and it also takes the second part in the Relic Castle. But one of the trainers here have a shell smashing crustle. But I don't actually want to fight. Bug Bite switched to Rock Slide switched to Slash, but eventually Jigglyt like a Beast Taker out, and but now we actually need to fight more trainers in the same boring position. And just thunderbolting every one of them. But I sure I have a so close calls. And here I encounter a Stantler which have Intimidate, the usual ability which you have all of the games. I think the game randomized Stantler ability Intimidate to Intimidate. But it's starting to use Calm Mind to increase his special defense, which isn't great to me, but fortunately 2 spec sludge bombs takes him out. You also have an Moongas, which is a little bit trickier to take on, but will eventually do that. Fortunately, the trainers here have a low level Pokemon, meaning it gives me a small amount of EXP every time I fight them. Help me to don't pass the level cap, of course. Dragon Spider Tower also grants me an Oranberry. Yes, an Oranberry. And this floor also grants me a couple of viable items, I guess. Like, finally, an antidote. I also find the scoop lens to boost my Pokemon critical hit ratio. Another useless report. And finally reach Giallo, one of the team Plasma Sages, and now it's the moment I need to find 4 trainers back to back. The hardest part in this battle. The first one have a pretty useless Ponyta, but does have the download ability on him. I hit him with a Thunderbolt, my only attacking move, and he boosted his speed with a boosted flame charge. Meaning he can be able to hit me another on the next turn, bringing me down quite low before I manage to take them out. Leaving just only Tranquil, which of course instantly electrified by Thunderbolt to the win. But this fight is not a problem. The problem is I have 3 more fights which I need to fight them back to back. Without even heal between the battles. The second fight leads with a Pidgeotto, which easily bumped by a Thunderbolt. And the third one will have a freaking this cutie bear. And here I go with Substitute, Predict, Captures Charm. Go for a Thunderbolt, knocking him out, level up. And this is mean because which reached to level 49 and finally inside the battle learn Psychic. But it doesn't help me a lot because his next Pokemon is Wobbuffet. Knowing I beyond my sub, I go for a Psychic and he click Destiny Bond. Knowing that my sub can predict counter or mirror coat in this case, I stay in and now I have to switch out. Fortunately, the Wobbuffet, the ability randomized, meaning he don't have Shadow Tag. That also means I can go for my Gigalith safely, predicting a counter and just Toxic Stall him to death. Not the best plan, but I can still work with that. The last trainer have an Ariados, which knows Sucker Punch. I forgot about priority Sucker Punch. Or Shadow Sneak, maybe. Which easily walled by Gigalith, and now I go to the last floor. And here I meet with the legendary Pokemon Zekrom. With a special cutscenes. And Zekrom flies with N, and we return back to Isuru City. And we meet Alder. Why? If isn't Alder, it's been a while. Have you been well? No time to chit chat. This violent fish has blah blah blah. That Pokemon has the power to destroy the world. If this Team Plasma side, Team Plasma. It's we carry the disappear Pokemon, right? However, the boss of Team Plasma, N, who every weekend Zekrom apparently said look for the other Pokemon, Reshiram. If I remember the myth, Zekrom powered electricity along with the other Pokemon, devastating ancient Unova in an is instant, even knowing that Anne is still waiting to awake the other. Ah? Isn't it dangerous to bring back a Pokemon that powerful? Miss, are you a very kind person? Still, I don't have because let's head to Raleigh Castle. Idai, everyone, I'm going. Okay, champion, let's hurry. עכשיו, המשימה הבאה שלנו היא לעוף כל הדרך חזרה. המשימה הבאה שלנו היא לעוף כל הדרך חזרה. היא לקחת את קומיין ולעוף כל הדרך חזרה. אל העיר נימבסה. עכשיו, מהעיר נימבסה נאלץ לרדת פה. כל הדרך לדרך מספר 4. ולהגיע בסוף על דזרט רזורט. בהתקדמותנו בדזרט רזורט נוכל בסופו של דבר להגיע אל הרליק קאסל. שם מחכים לנו מן הסתם לוחמים של צוות פלזמה, והרבה מהם. אחד מהלוחמים שאמרו לי ללכת ולנסות לעצור את צוות פלזמה באופן לא מובן בעליל. אז זה בדיוק מה שעשיתי. הלכתי לרליק קאסל והכנסתי למבצע השמדה נגד צוות פלזמה whatever. חלק מהלוחמים מצוות פלזמה באמת היו די בעייתיים, אבל בגלל רק הפוקימון הראשון נראה לנטרן, ובגלל שיש לו קונטררי אז טופל שלא עבד נגדו. אבל מן הסתם הבנתי שנגד פוקימוני אופל שאני לא יכול לפגוע בהם, אני צריך לבצע כמה החלפות קשוחות עם מיסטר מים. הסתם קצת לקח לך הרבה זמן להביס את כל המאמנים פה. ומהר מאוד נפלנו גם לקומות התחתונות. והם צריכים לסלול את דרכנו לגציס ומצוות פלזמה כדי לעצור את המשימה הזדונית שלו, whatever. וזה לפחות כלל התקלות בפוקימונים מאוד בעייתיים. בשלב הזה גם מפותחים סופית. כי אחת ההגדרות ששמתי ברנדומייזר זה שכל הפוקימונים שהם רמה 35 ומעלה יהיו מפותחים סופית no matter what. וגם חלק מהמאמנים פה לקחו ממני המון כוחות. ומהר מאוד נגמר לי הפיפי לכל ההתקפות של מיסטר מים שלי. מהר מאוד מצאת את המתקפת טריק רום, אבל מיסטר מים יכול ללמוד אותה ואני לא יודע איך היא תעזור לי. מהר נפלתי. שלא נפל... לא ליפול דמות! מצאתי את הפליים פלייט. להעלות העוצמה של מתקפות של חלק מהמתקפות שלו יען הארה. תכלס בשלב הזה כבר של המשחק יש לי אקסס להרבה חפצים מאוד טובים. העלילות של רלי קאסל הרבה יותר ארוכות מכאן, כי לצערי באמת כאן ברלי קאסל בעצם קיימים מאמנים מאוד חזקים. גם קיימים מאמנים חזקים יותר עם הרבה יותר פוקמונים, וגם יותר מאמנים בכללי. בנוסף על הכל, השאלות לשאול את עצמך לדעת אם אתה צריך ליפול פה במערבולות כל אלה שיש פה, או לא, זאת אולי השאלה האמיתית. Quickly I find the Rabuta berry and made this through to the 2 final trainers. And with the first one you have a freaking Slacking, which have a legendary base stats and instantly use Covet, which steals my quick low. Because they have also, because Stacking don't only have a legendary stats, because I use Iron Defense and predictably go for a Toxic to take them out much as possible without without actually bait counter. The Slacking of course goes for a Midja, and I'm an plus to make this through to +6 with my move. And Feint Attack do little to nothing. I set up a Stealth Rock to raise next and final Pokemon. Only 10 broke down to 49 HP in the process. But the next one is Weezing, and even if he's self-destructed, I feel really nervous. But he uses Clear Smoke and removed my +6 defense, making even a self-destruct / explosion can instantly devastate me. For this situation I switched to Thumper, taking a Clear Smoke, and because Weezing ability is randomized, I don't longer have Levitate Wing, I can safely hit the Bulldoze, tank a Sludge, which fortunately don't get poison, and take them out on the next turn. Because I can repeatedly heal between the battles, the second trainer don't much an issue at all, because I lead with a Rock type versus his Bug type Galvantula. Really tank a Signal Beam, Sap, Stealth Rock, and just on the next turn knock him out with a Rock Slide after he's surprised by ability with Stro Acid. But next one is Torterra, and because this is which have this Sandstream ability, and because he knows Earthquake, it means I need to switch to Mimey, which takes so much damage from Torterra's attack. I go to Happy Hippo. Don't nervously happy, it's possible. And Torterra throws a Leech Seed against me, and I go for the Yawn, and the Torterra drains my life with a Mega Drain. Here I also realize almost every one of my Pokemon actually weak to Torterra's moves. And they don't actually clutching survive on 10 HP. And retaliate with a stab crunch, don't dealing so much damage at all. And I need to switch, risking Torterra wake up. I go to Thumper and Torterra staying asleep, meaning I can free hit him with a strength, which don't do so much damage, and he's a quad effective stab Mega Drain, which crits and takes Thumper down. Torterra, wake up, go for a Leech Seed. And drains my entire life. After a couple of close calls. I left with a couple of close calls in this battle, but I actually finally made it through all of the battles. And reaching the final floor. Get off all of these useless cutscenes. And now I continue my game and go for Nacrin. This is not Nacrin City. And go back all the way to Nacrin City. Talk with all of this person and pick up myself the Light Stone. before I progress the game, but before I manage finally to progress my game, we have the last fight with Bianca, and here now he actually really strong. Meaning to get more powerhouse on my team. I think I don't have any good reason to don't evolve a Dunker into a crocodile. עם הלייב הזה נסגור את הלייב, עם הקרב הזה נסגור את הלייב. Exit from Route 1 to leave Route 8 and Easter City to make my way to Opelucid. From the Tumbleweed Bridge I go for. But first I have the final battle with not other than Bianca. And now we actually are really strong. Give me the final circle to one final battle and leads well with a Gliscor, with a monstrous Gliscor, and I stupidly leads with rock and roll. This battle also making the rain, meaning I don't want to him have a water type Pokemon. Gliscor is a Zord stance and I set up a Stealth Rock just to be safe, and he set up another one and I put off a Toxic on him, knowing he don't have Poison Heal anymore or immunity. The Gliscor hits me with his +4 Night Slash, don't do over half, and I go for an Iron Defense, double my defense stat, meaning the next Night Slash don't do enough damage to me. Don't do enough damage to take me out, and I really can be set up another one. I think I can take one more Night Slash on the next turn, and unfortunately I do on 12 HP. Set up all the way to +6. Knowing I need so much to stall the Gliscor's poison turns, I switch into Udunker, to my full evolved Dunker, which on the Switch need to tank the edge, but I think I outspeed, but Bianca uses a full restore. Terrifying. Meaning my move doesn't get a kill. But knowing my life, I don't have any more choice, and here I need to go for, and the Gliscor outspeed with an acrobatics knockout Dunker. But before we even continue and progress my game, we have of course the last battle with Bianca. And he leads back and strong with the Gliscor, which already knows Zord stance and acrobatics. I lead with Temper, and knowing this battle on the spring season makes in the rain. I know Gliscor is a sword stance and I can retaliate with a stab super effective rain boosted serve, which with the rain enough to knock him out, level up to more to get me off more power, sending in Bianca's Blossom. Bianca frisking Blossom, and I go for Bonk, which need to hit by a Sludge Bomb on the switch, by a Stun Spore on the switch. On top of that, the Blossom will switch the rain to sun with Sunny Day, and I go for a Spec Sludge Bomb, which actually isn't enough to the kill. On the next turn, Bianca fully healed her Blossom with a full restore, and we break for paralysis with a Sludge Bomb. Hopefully get a poison, but of course doesn't. But the Blossom only can hit with a pretty pathetic magical leaf before it can and be bumped by a Sludge Bomb. And next is Bianca's Raichu. He go for a Tail Whip, dropping by defense, and I go for a Sludge Bomb doing over half, and on the next turn the Raichu retaliates with a Thunderbolt, brings me to half before he also has been taken down. The sunlight fades, and of course you have to send out his Blissey. With a good special bulk, as a special wall, Blissey barely take any damage for the Sludge Bomb, and almost knock me out with after a couple of takedowns, but we do manage to put off a poison. I send in Thumper back and take down the barely don't do any damage, and I go for a Bulldoze, which knock out the Blissey with his terrible defense stat. All of that leads Bianca with two Pokemons. The first one happens to be Vaporeon, which instantly hits me the size with Aurora Beam and don't get the attack drop, and I hit a couple of strength. One of them actually get a critical hit to be able to take minimal damage if possible before taking him out and go versus his last Pokemon on Xatu. The Xatu just gives a wish. It allowed me to hit him with a Surf. But knowing we can predict a Psychic crit, I switch to Dunker, which unfortunately hits by a Confuse Ray. And Xatu's wish unfortunately came true. Who allowed him to set up another one, and we hit them with a Stub Crunch, knock him out for the win. Bianca gives me a pretty useless full restores, and now we need to pass through Tumbleline Bridge and the top. We broke down to Ghetsis, and Ghetsis, the boss of Team Plasma, actually ambushed me and steal my Light Stone. and actually managed to steal my Lightstone. Okay. All of that brings me to all the way to Route 9. And this dude gives me the TM for fleeing in the entrance. Some weird man, I guess? In Route 9 I have the possibility to get another encounter, and this time I encounter an Illumise. And this time I encounter an Illumise. Horrible Trash. Yes, Trash Pokemon. The little Firefly without a nickname. Stay in the box for now. And I finally pick up the zoom lens. Before finally finish my way to Opelucid City. All the way to Opelucid City. Fortunately, Route 10 it's open to me before I actually managed to predict through Opelucid Gym. Fortunately, Route 10 is accessible to me right now, meaning I can get an encounter here, and I actually managed to find a double encounter opportunity. Of Golurk and Marshtomp. But, you know, I also love starters, and that's meaning I picked up Marshtomp instead. And nicknamed Madman. I dodge here every single trainer, which I could do. And on top of that, after double checking on top of that, double checked my Marshtomp. Yeah, these things actually have double the Zap Zipper, which prevents him to hit by grass type moves, and also if he wants to hit by it, it's actually boosted his attack, meaning he have the opportunity to get attack boost and he don't have any weaknesses. This is just insane. I guessed that, you guessed it. אין בעיה. Now, and I catch a mushroom, and these things and Mudman, like a chap, have this obstacle ability, meaning you don't have weaknesses, and that's also mean the goodbye science method and hello there Swampert. Have this freaking obstacle ability, and these things mean the goodbye science method and hello the weakness Swampert. Level up Happy Hippo all the way to 40, meaning he also finally learned Earthquake. אוקיי, אני חושב שאנחנו מוכנים. פוקימון בלי חולשות זה כזה טוב. קודם כל אני צריך להוריד את התמונה שלו.